G'day everybody, it's Max and welcome back to Infinifactory, the Rebels, you betcha. We are building our own spaceship to go home and take it to the frog scum. That's right. Before we get started, of course, a big thanks to recent subscribers as their names are going at the bottom of the screen. Mostly, that's run by Steam Elements and it doesn't pick up all the names, so if you've hit the subscribe button, I still appreciate it very much. Of course, the live chat, and to those watching later on, feel free to watch me at 2x speed. Because I'm twice as handsome as I am at 1x speed, you bet. Today, of course, we are going to be doing, we're going to be looking at all the puzzles, the first 4 or 5 puzzles, actually, as I've got them ready to go. And the first one will be a review, and then the next 3 will be all brand new. So with that, let's switch the screen over and have a look and see what's going on. Boop, there we go. Hey, look at me. I'm in the bunker with Dave and Nia, and of course, I can never pronounce this name. Minervo. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. I had a bag of chips before I started, and I don't know if that was a good idea or not. Anyway, we're gonna take it in here. We're gonna get in here. We're gonna solve some puzzles. You bet. So, mission briefing, of course. We did do the navigation computer last stream, and we at least gone through a lot of the fission reactor. But we haven't solved all these puzzles yet. So we're gonna have a look at the navigation computer first, because I mean, you know, this is pretty cool to look at in general. So of course, the big challenge here is doing everything horizontally wise. I think is what we've decided. Could be vertically. I mix the two up all the time. Anyway, we're not laying them flat. We're doing them up and down. And, of course, that's a lot harder because the tools we're given don't really work really well working up and down. All the tools we're given are working on like a flat surface. So, a tabletop flat surface, not a standing up flat surface. So that is why this is always a little challenging. But this is kind of the puzzle that first kind of forces you into using pistons as extended tables, right? So we put stuff on pistons. The pistons then are extended with these on it, and you see this in a lot of these last 5 puzzles. So we're going to run this puzzle here, and we'll see it, of course, we're going to get to see it make all the things again. And so here, of course, it's coming out with the chips, and of course we have the big CPU over there, but we got 8 chips coming out here, and then they're gonna divide off all the things, right? So this one's going to stack on top of each other. These 2 just got stuck together, and these 4 are going to go find their own little way home in their own little buckets. There we go. Oops, I've hit the wrong button, of course, because R and T happen to be right beside each other. Someone thought that was a good idea. Okay, so there's our stackable 2. We got 4 going that way, and there's our sideways 2. And so, of course, there's our stack 2, our sideways 2, and then 4 individual chips. Now, we have the motherboard coming out here. And if I hit the T key, we're going to send this up here. But meanwhile, of course, we have the chips now laying on their turntable injection parts here momentarily. So we're going to let these drop into place. So these ones are all dropping into place. And before I get trapped in here and can't get out, so they have now landed on their turntables. And of course, now what we're going to see here is stage 1, where these are actually going to connect to the motherboard, which is actually pretty cool. Like that. Yeah, and of course, these then pull back, and of course, the motherboard is allowed to move on. Now, of course, we still have a couple of chips to put on here. We still have the stacking chip, and of course, a single chip there, and the CPU chip. So right now, of course, we have the CPU and the stacking chip now arriving. The single chip, I think, is here already. Yeah, it's just about to land on its platform, so we'll let it do that. We're also going to let these guys come down here, and they have now landed and are ready to be fastened. Of course, everything's done on time, right? So, of course, this motherboard, when this second motherboard gets its chips, this first one will receive its chips and move on. So, of course, that's when we're just going to wait for that to happen. And boom, there it is. Everybody gets to move on, and sure enough, we get the counts, right? And of course, we slide that into place, and there's one. And this is where you get introduced into stacking pistons and doing double piston tricks like this, which is actually really cool in a way. And not only did we do a stacking piston trick here, I'm going to freeze it. Right. Come on now. Yeah, do the thing for me. There we go. So we're doing two things here. This is a double stacking piston. So this had a wire attached to it, which of course, when the first one extended, it now makes connection to make the second one extend. But this is also a timer chip, and this timer chip only works when this wire is connected, which is actually really cool, like that. So of course, as you can see, it can't make connection until it is extended like that. Yeah, that's actually pretty nifty, you know. So of course, yeah, and that's of course what triggers it, allows it to go around and do it again, right? And then it says, yeah, we'll let that go. Boom, like that, and away it goes. So yeah, that's how we get some chips, people. That's how we get some motherboards on the screen to launch this sucker into space. Boom. You know, not too bad. I mean, you know, I was never going for records on this thing anyway, so we're gonna carry on. So now it is time to have a look at the fusion reactor, and I think solution 3 is where we are now. We actually had a look at this somewhat. It wasn't fully working when we had looked at it, and I'm hoping it's working now, because I have not tested it I've not tested this in actually a couple weeks. That's where we are. So you can see here, there's a little bit of button stuff going on. Yeah. So of course, we did have 3 issues last time, I believe. I think the timing, we had to work out the timing to get the core right. We had to work out the timing to get the 4 corners in, and then we had to get the timing right just to load it in general. So I think that is all good to go. But let's have a look at just the convoluted pieces that we got going on here. It's quite the build, actually. It is quite the build. So this up here, of course, is what's making all the brown pieces. So the 4 layers of cover, right? The top and bottom layer, as well as the inner top and bottom layer, which of course are hollow in the center, which makes that quite challenging, because there's no way to really reach in there. And of course, this all had to get welded, right? So that was the big problem. So we have a duplication. One does the bottom, one does the top. And basically, it comes in and it builds all the platform pieces and then ejects them into a central area. And that, of course, so there's the bottom, there's the top. They eject into this area right here. And this is where the bottom and the top will come in, along with a single rod right down here. This is the core. This is a rod core down here, and it's going to come up here, and it's going to inject itself right into half of this. Now, that is the trick, right? We got to get this core in here and all the things. So then we have to put the other side, right? So then this makes the other half of the top and the bottom, and they then get inserted over here where they come up from the bottom and on the top, and they get welded in. Then we put the corners in, because of course it requires 4 corners. We actually put one of the corners in over here when we're putting the top and bottom on. It's just convenient for that way. And then it gets turned and the other 3 get put in. And then of course over here, this is the final weld of all the pieces. So we're going to run this. This here, of course, is where it builds the actual 4 posts, if you want to call them that. And yeah, it's really intense. It's really intense. So we're going to run this slow for a few seconds. We're going to see here, just so we can look at all the pieces being made. So this, of course, is making the 4 corners. This here is the beginnings of the top and the bottom, right? And you'll see them coming up here. You'll notice that once a row is filled, a timer goes off, pulls back, and then that way it allows the next row to get filled. And of course, it continues to do that until the counter comes up saying that it's full. And then, of course, as you can see, it moves down here, gets a couple there, and pulls back. It's going to get some here, and then it's going to pull back. Look at that. And then all them pieces are going to get ejected. And, of course, they're getting ready. Now, this is a top piece, so, of course, that's a thing. And away it goes. Nice. We'll take that. Here, of course, is where we see the actual pieces. So this is a top half a piece. There's the bottom half piece, and we got one core rod. Now, of course, this allows us to do. Now, you'll notice that the bottoms here, they're missing this block here, and on top, you'll see that it's missing this block right here, and that's because we have to get the welders in here to connect all this together. It's crazy. Like the stuff you got to do to make this all work is crazy. So we're gonna run this real slow, and there you go. You can see now it's connected this half and this half to the rod. Now we gotta put tops on these, right? Like now we only got half a top, so now we got to put the other half of the top and the bottom on. And of course, we'll have to fill in these holes later because we had to leave them open right now for the welders to weld the rod in place. So of course, we're gonna hit the T key there, and it will move on. Now there it goes. And of course, there is. We'll actually stop here for a second. This is the second bottom piece, and I believe the second top piece is moving around here somewhere. Yes, it is. There, look at that. See, there's the top piece. So this is the second half of the piece here that's coming along, and it's going to drop into place. The bottom is going to come along here shortly, and it's going to drop into place. And as we can see, it's coming along. So the top is now falling into place. Boom. All right, and you can see we are missing pieces, right? Because we needed these open to weld this. So we're gonna have to fill those holes in. But you'll notice we're getting ready to attach these pieces together as the base is now making its way over here. Look at this. And boom, there it is. And of course, this button got pushed. What does that do? Well, that releases. That allows us to release 4 of these wonderful things at the same time. And that works. That works. And of course, it's going to put one in the corner here before it goes. So we're just going to let that first corner come in here. And boom, there it is. Now, this will sit here for a second until the next one comes along. So the next one is getting ready to come along here shortly. And, of course, it gets triggered, and it's going to now move on to the next station. Now, you'll notice it gets in there just in the nick of time. 1, 2, 3. Nice. And, of course, you know, a little welding never hurts. So, of course, we have it all lit up like a Christmas tree here. And it's now fallen down through and moving on to the next and final station. Now, this next and final station, you'll notice here we've got a couple blocks on standby, right? There's one there. There's one there. One there and one there, and these are going to fill in the holes that were left behind from that initial weld of the core itself. So I'm going to back up here just a little bit because I get in the way of all these things. Okay, so here we go. Okay, and there they are. And of course, once again, we're going to have something else trigger this back off. So as this all shuts down. And you'll see that here in a second. I'll hit the fast forward key. Zoom. There we go. And yeah, and see it pulled away. It's now allowed to move on to its final destination. There it is. And that is going to be 1 core. Boom. 9, baby. That's it. And of course, as always, it's setting up for its next pieces over here. It's now coming over to meet those pieces. Okay, looks good, and of course it injects itself with the double pistons. All looks good. It'll kick itself out here shortly. You know, it's going to get some signals here. There's a lot of tie-in. There's a lot of signaling going on. You know, it's pretty intense. It's pretty intense. As soon as we get another one that lands down over there, and you see there, boom, boom, and all this happens, and this comes over, and it fills in the next one. Whew, let me tell you, It's pretty heavy stuff. All right, but we got it working. This has by far been the hardest puzzle ever. This puzzle was crazy. I am kind of surprised they didn't give us some sort of tool set to work with such like double extended pistons and stuff. Now, I mean, figuring out double extended pistons and that kind of thing as part of the puzzles. I mean, no, that was a lot of fun and in a way. But I mean, if you were just I'm a casual player. I consider myself to be a casual player. Yes, I do play every day, so maybe it's not so casual, but I mean, if you are really casual, this, like, doing a bunch of stuff like this is pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. So, flip, there we go. That's right, because you got to turn him around, right? He's got to face the other way to get his top and bottom on there, right? There goes the top. Boom, there we go. And, of course, the bottom's going to come along. What number are we at? Let's go stare at a number. We're at 7. Oh, yes. I like it very much. All right. But that is, we'll just pull back here a little bit. We'll pull back here a little bit as we watch the factory put together cores. There's 6. And, I mean, it's a piece of artwork. I will say that. It's a piece of artwork that does great things. It's a pain in the butt. Is what it is. It was a definite pain in the butt. But I mean, it works. It does work. Let's move on over here. Maybe we'll have a look at the building blocks for doing the top and bottom pieces. Because I mean, again, there's a lot of moving components here. Like here, of course, you're seeing like the final 2 blocks that we're borrowing to fill in them last 2 holes, right? So there they go. Yep, there they go. And of course, that's what happens there. Because those blocks, because I am actually destroying a block here, right? There's a block that I am blowing up. I don't know if it was actually an extra block or whatever, but I am destroying one block every once in a while, just because it just seems like I never found a place to put it. And, so, I mean, it is working. See, it just kind of drops blocks every once in a while, and it's happy to get rid of those. Yeah, I'm fine with that. We just get rid of those blocks. We're down to 2 people. Down to 2. You know how it is. So, yeah, and 1 to go. And, of course, this is going to complete this puzzle off. It is pretty amazing, actually. This puzzle. I wouldn't even know how to tell somebody how to build this. I really wouldn't. I mean, there's just so many moving parts. Like, you just kind of got to sit back and enjoy it as the last one goes in here. I will say it was a challenge. It was a challenge. So, hey, believe it or not, I am not the worst by far. Yes, like most people did about 1,750. I did 1,900 for cycle score. That's not too bad, right? Now my footprint stinks. So whatever. And my amount of blocks, I used almost 2,000 blocks. I don't know how most people got away with 1,200 blocks. I really don't. I'm actually quite happy with my cycle score. Right? It's not too bad. I mean, considering it's only probably an extra couple hundred, like an extra 100 and some cycles. Even my footprint score, let's say a fair amount. We're over 1K, so I'm all right with that. Hey, I didn't do this. Didn't do this for the lulz. Okay, here we go. Crew quarters. Let's have a look at this one. This was brand new, not even built yet, and of course. Yep, this is the thing. Okay, so first things first. This is obviously we have a room, right? 2 walls and a base, right? And that is what this sector is for. Here are the base pieces. Here is the wall pieces. So the base pieces come down there to make the actual square of the floor. These are the wall pieces. They will come up here and then drop down and be welded to make a solid wall on one side, for 2 solid walls. One of those walls gets pew-pewed somewhere. I don't remember exactly where, but that's okay. I don't need to remember. I'm sure we'll see it. And then, so that is that part. All right, so we got the walls coming out, and you'll see because there are 2 separate walls, we will push one wall down this side, and we're going to push one wall down this side. Now, the base will of course make its way over here and sit, and then this is where the furniture all gets assembled. So we have 4 beds that need to be put in. We have this stove unit that needs to be put in, and we have the countertop that needs to be put in. So what you see here is the beds coming out of this unit here. There's a counter of 4, obviously, and what will happen is 2 will stay up top, 2 will stay down below, right? So it's got to decide 4 times which way it's going to send these. Obviously, if we send them over to this side, we've got to turn them around because they're facing the wrong way for this side of the room. So we have a double turn there. And then, of course, what you see here is us putting the beds into place and welding them with extender pistons, right? Where they can actually stretch out and weld all the things. Now, still don't know where I'm putting that door in. Oh, there's the door. Right. There is the door. So, yeah, once it's all together, we take care of the door by just plunging a door into it, right? Because, again, we need a door, and then we allow that to drop down, and it'll be fine. Okay, and then, of course, most of that gets welded together. It's all within a relatively short period. Nothing like the last puzzle. The last puzzle was crazy, hectic, crazy. And this puzzle's a little simpler, which is really nice. So we're going to run this puzzle. All right. And so we have the base plates coming down here. There's the stove unit. It's on standby. It's going to wait for 1 round. So there's half a wall. Of course, the base plate's moving around, doing fine. Here comes the other half a wall. Excellent. And, of course, it now sees that we got 2 full walls, and it's going to move that down. So let's watch what happens here. We got beds being put into place, by the way. So the stove unit is on standby because we only got, I think we've only got 3 or 4 beds in motion here, right? So, and that's okay. In fact, that 3rd bed has just shown up. The counter piece is ready to be inserted, and we'll send the stove piece over here shortly. You can see where the stove's going to drop onto that belt right there and then move into this way. So we got the 4th bed en route. It is. Here comes the 4th bed now. This piece of wall is coming over here, and it's going to hang out here for a second. All right, so there we go. So now we've got 4 beds in place. There's back welders on these, but they're not lit up until these front welders can go in and touch them. So that, of course, is what's going on here. Now, this is our other wall. It's going to slip right in here, right? And, of course, that's going to make that work that way. And, of course, all these pieces are waiting for this final wall to show up. Okay, and boom. All right, so the welding takes place. All right, so welding did take place. All right. So we've welded the beds to the walls. This kitchen counter is about to get dropped. And this stove unit is about to get dropped. So all right, here comes the 2nd stove unit. Boom. And there goes the countertop. Now, our beds have only dropped about halfway. So you see, they haven't gone all the way to the base yet. Now they are waiting to. We're going to make the door here. We're going to put in the stove, and we're going to put in the counter space, right? So we'll push this, and that's moving over there. Boom, and the stove is waiting on standby. All right, I obviously have that on a timer for some reason, so I'm going to go with it. I'm going to trust the system. Trust the system. There we go. So the stove's now coming in. There we go. and it's now welded in. And here comes the base, right? So the base is dropping into place. It now makes the door, and there go the walls. All right, excellent. And of course, the wall's now dropping. Now we'll come down to level 3. The whole thing is going to drop. Obviously, the walls are going to get welded right there in the corners. And then this thing's going to drop down, move over here, and then make a staircase walk all the way up here and get loaded in. All right, so hopefully everything runs just fine. There we go. And of course, now we have the unit. We have the unit made. So now we just gotta wait for the next one to come along, and it will move all that out of the way. In fact, we'll back up just a wee bit here as we've hit the fast forward key. And of course, there comes our here comes our thing. Here comes the next base. Look at that. And of course, this is walking its way up. Making its way up to the top there, and hopefully that's a 9. That is what you call 9, people. 9. Not 10, not 8. It's 9. Of course, we basically have 3 levels, right? We have the bed level, we have the stove level, and we have the base welding level, and basically just keeps dropping itself down. Now, this is where I was talking about in that last puzzle. It's a lot easier to work on like a tabletop piece than it is to try and put things sideways, right? Sideways motion is really tough, right? You got to do crazy things with welders to get sideways motion to happen. Drives you batty. But anyway, it is what it is, as the count now hits 7 and is continuing to work its way down. But the last puzzle I would consider be the hardest of the puzzles. And not to say this wasn't hard. There's a lot in this puzzle, but it is slightly more simplistic in terms of getting stuff in than that other puzzle was. And what made that other puzzle hard was welding the core into the center of the top and bottom. Welding the top and bottom to the core was the trick. It added like 2 extra needed steps to do that because you had to leave space for a double piston welder. So that made that really tough. Made it really tough. That's for sure. Okay. But we're making beds, people. We're making beds. I don't know how good we're making beds. But we're going to see what happens here. All right. There we go. Yep. Beds are being injected, and the count's going down. We're down to 1. Nice. And of course, this will take care of the rest of that. There comes our final bed unit, and that should finish off this puzzle, people. That's going to finish off this puzzle right there. Nice. How did I do? Wow. Actually, not surprised. 1. So most people use 1300 cycle score. I have 1.5 cycle score, so I'm only about 200 cycles higher than everybody else. Now, okay, my footprint, I don't know what it is. My footprints are always big. Whatever. And yeah, okay, I used an extra 200 blocks than everybody else. Who cares? I'm fine with that. Okay, plasma engine. Yeah. Let's have a look at that. All right. So, I probably didn't do this one the most efficiently. Too many timers. Too many timers. Look at this monstrosity. All right, I know my block score is going to be so bad because of this thing. This is a timer. Yeah, it's a self-made timer, and it's awesome. But it's a pain in the butt, and yeah, it's fine. It works. It's fine. It's ugly. And I'm sure there was a much better way to do it. This works. Again, can't say it didn't work. Right? Look at the buttons on this thing. It works fine. But I know there's much more efficient ways to do this. But anyway, let's get started. Let's talk about the shell first. So this is the shell. We have 4 outputs, and that's going to build our C-shape shell to put this thing into. This actually is very, very nifty. And of course, basically it just keeps welding pieces together until it makes the letter C and then spits it out. Done. Okay, then over here, yeah, I could have been way more efficient with this, right? We got to take 2 engines, weld them together. That's what happens right down there. We got to take this solid block, carve it out, chop pieces in it, and then shove the engines and this little thruster into the back of it. And that's what all this does. So we carve it all out here. Then we drop it here, shove it into the engines, right? Add that little extra piece to it. And then we take the entire unit and shove it into the shell, which happens down here. And then once it's done that, we weld the pieces together and then we let it float all the way to the top and get stuck in there. That's how it works, people. So we're going to have a look at this. Let's stare at this side first, just so as you can see the C shape being made. So we're going to do that. And then we'll reset the puzzle, and then we'll go have a look at the other side so you can see that being made. So, of course, there's 4 blocks. All right, so the first 4 blocks fall down, and there they are. So they've made a base, right? It can't go any more there because we got blocks blocking it. So here come the next 4. And these will have no choice but to stand straight up and down. Because obviously there's no more down there. There we go. And then these are the next 4. This is going to actually put the first 3, I think, standing straight up. But then it's going to have to start building a top. 1, 2, 3, and then so you can see here it's now building the top. But this button here is going to let everybody know when the top is made, it's going to let this whole thing go, right? So it's now pushing these in. Okay, and like that. And there it goes. It kicks it out. And then, of course, any extra pieces just get starting made it on the next piece. And it's going to find its way down there. Yeah, it's going to make its way all the way down here. Of course, we cut that little groove out of it. It needs that little groove right there cut out. And now it's going to wait for an engine right there. Excellent. Let's reset the puzzle. Let's go stare at the other side of this thing. Holy smokes. The engines, we'll come back to the engines shortly. 2 engines are going to pop out here, get turned sideways, drop into that welder. It's the easy part. The hard part is all the cutting and the crafting you got to do with this crazy thing. As you can see. Because you need to make 2 blocks, right? Because this thing is 2 blocks high, and they're shaped differently. So, yep. All right, here we go. So here comes our first block. Okay. And this will be our second block. Right? Yeah, anytime now. All right, we're going to stop it right there. Okay, let's go stare at the timer. All right, so the timer, where is the timer? Get down. Yep. Where is the timer? Okay, cool. It is literally right there. Okay, so because there's nothing to kickstart this thing, the first blocks that's making is I had to put it on a wild goose chase. I had to put it on this big slinky to actually start the block, right? So the block finally made its way down, right? And I'm gonna reset this so you can see this. Right? All right, so here's the block, right? And basically, right? Down there, the first block has come out. The second block's going to come out. Okay? And I'm going to stop it right there. All right? So there it is. All right, now it's on what I would call the main track, right? So now it's never going to leave this bottom track, and it will just go around and around and around. But to get the whole thing set up, I had to set on a wild goose chase for a bit, and this is what you can see here for this timer. So now we've seen that. It's going to hit that first trigger. So we'll now hit the unpause button. There we go. Look at that. So it did that. It did a thing. Look at us go, right? And that block is now making its way around the back, which is now going to let this go and let these blocks out. There we go. And the 2 blocks are allowed to make their way out. and that's good. Now if we come back up to the timer, you'll see that it's just about to leave the timer, and all right, makes its way around one more time. It's just the way the timer is, and hopefully it comes back out. There we go. Yeah, and then it's now hit that up. All right, cool. So yes, and of course we unfortunately got to miss this part. So we're gonna have to reset this again now, because there's so many things going on here. So of course we got these. There goes my block. He's on a happy-go-lucky journey there. There it goes. There it gets punched. That is ready to go. These guys come out here. They're gonna get separated and then welded together, right? Because this is important, right? Because obviously we need the two halves to be stuck together. And of course we also need to fix up some holes here, right? We need to put some holes in some places. So we're gonna come and do that. Okay, so there's that. If we come around to this side is gonna punch in two holes. This here, of course, needs two holes here to hold that little thruster engine that is now on standby here. Look at him; he's waiting to go. But we need to give him a little home, so he's got to get a puncture there. And you notice we have that's what this block here is going to do. This is going to actually trigger from the next set. Actually, and then that way it's going to punch all the holes in, and we'll be good to go. Wasn't lying about them engines. They're down there, right? The engines are down there. The first one's just come out, right? Like, that's the thing. Like, the first engine's just arriving, so we're in no rush to go anywhere, right? I think the second engine is now gone by. Did it? Engine. Yes. No, the engine. Where'd that first engine go? Did I miss it? No. I mean, it's not over here at all. Really. All right. Maybe it was my imagination. Anyway, nevertheless, we'll keep it running here for a second. Oh, I've accidentally. Oh, that's why I hit the R key instead of the T key. Darn it! I hate it when I do that. All right, it's fine. We'll get that back out here. Come on, guys. Yeah, blocks and things and punch holes and yeah, weld that. All right, so there goes the first engine, and we got the first block here. All right, so we got these guys coming out, and I'm gonna hit pause this time and not the R key. Yeah, so there's our first two engines. They've made their way over here. They're gonna wait for this block to finish being crafted before we try to slam it together. Unfortunately, the wait time on this is a little long because it takes like 3 stops to make this entire block, right? So we're going to have this guy come out here. He's going to punch the holes in that. Anytime. Yeah, feel free to puncture holes. Boom, there we go. And it's going to kick off. All right, so this guy's coming down here, right? Which is good. We will want him. Stop right there, dude. This guy is now coming down. He's gotten his orders to drop down. So everybody's dropping down. Okay, so as you can see here, this guy's got to get turned around in the right orientation. This guy is now ready to get injected, or to receive the block. So of course we've got this, the little fuse engine. We got the big engine. We got the block. So we're gonna hit this. Boom, that gets injected. Boom, that gets injected. Oh yeah, that's awesome. Hey, that looks good. But now you got to weld these two pieces together, right? That and this. That's what this thing does. This thing does a double injection here, doing a double piston, double weld. Well, of course it does, because that's the way it works, people. And just because that one crazy timer up top wasn't enough, I have another little timer here, which and all this little timer does is it just makes sure that it injects these and then it dejects them, right? And it does run off that main timer, but this little second timer is just a little faster for it, so as it doesn't keep them blocks in there too long, right? So as we can keep this thing moving. So we'll see that soon enough here. Boom, like so. And as you can see, it's done that. And where's this going? This is going for a walk. Hey, look at that. Meanwhile, 2 bases have been made over here, and it is waiting. It is now in waiting place for that, and this is going to come over and meet it. We do a little side shuffle there. We're going to shove this thing in. Yep. And boom. It gets welded in, and away it goes. Now, it has to get all the way to the top, so this is actually really cool. Of course, what we got is a whole series of buttons going all the way up that's going to keep ejecting these blowers up there until it gets all the way to the top. Look at it go. Yeah, it just keeps going. And we'll just come over here. And yeah, it's about to get to its final destination. So you'll see the button there, and the final blowers are there. And there it goes. Moving the whole thing in. Holy smokes. In fact, these buttons here were pointless. When I put them in, it was supposed to be to keep the other blowers out. We didn't need them, though, because it was already touching this. It's duplicity, people. It was duplicity. So these buttons never even get used. But as you can see here, we're about to hit the jackpot. Boom. That's a 9, people. That's a 9. You bet. All right. So we'll come over here. We'll stare at this. Yeah. I mean, there's pieces. Another crazy factory doing another crazy bunch of things. Let me tell you, it's intense. It is intense. Making sure it all works all the time. You know, like it just drives you crazy sometimes. All right, so we got the blocks, we've got the thruster, we've got the engines. It picks this up, boom, pushes it forward, boom, and then it's gonna move it over here, boom, and then it gets welded and sent on its way, boom. Let me tell you, whew. Yep, there we go, and off it goes, and the little timer did its thing, and it's like, yeah, okay, I got you, fam, I got you, and then we got to rush over here. Yep, and there it goes, injects it in, and then rises it up, up again, and and finally it's high enough to inject it, and there's 6. Holy smokes, let me tell you. Oh, hello, you're almost got crushed there, Max. It was pretty intense. That was pretty intense. Yep. Okay, so okay, yeah. So that's what we do. We make walls into C-shaped pieces, and then of course the engine gets assembled up here. And don't hit the R button now, Max, because we're halfway through this puzzle. We'll look at this one. What's the count? Yeah, we're at 5, right? So we'll watch it do a couple on this side, and then we'll turn around. We'll watch it do a couple on the other side. So that way you can see both sides. And I mean, yeah, it's pretty crafty. It's pretty crafty, I must admit. You know, it does a thing. It does a thing, and then it pushes the thing out, and it makes a thing, and it drops the next one. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool that way. All right, so we're going to turn around now, and we're going to watch this side for the finish line here. So, of course, we make the 2 blocks, we weld them together, we then cut all the holes, we then inject the engines into them on both sides, and then it gets sent on its way. It's pretty intense. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. Yep. You know, and then, of course, that piece down there. So it is pretty cool that these guys all get together, they get welded. There goes that guy. These guys come over, this guy gets dropped, he's going to get welded right there, boom, he's going to get moved over here, and then when the next guys come out, he drops down and, of course, makes his way over and then back up and around and completed. There he goes, and he goes underneath the platform, and he comes back up on this side inside the big casement, and there it is. Done like dinner. Now, my block score I knew was pretty bad. I knew that. But look, I'm just a little above cycle score again. I'm very happy with that. And my footprint score, okay, I mean, most people are like 1.2. I'm only 1.4. You know, I'm all right with that. My block score always stinks, though. I don't know what I do. I end up making such crazy contraptions that it's crazy. Okay. Yay! Mission briefing. All right, let's have a look at this. Play the mission briefing. Hey, Dave, what's up?
Hey, the first ship is nearly finished, but we haven't gotten the control systems installed yet. That shouldn't take too much time, though.
It's patrols. Multiple cruisers.
It's the frog toads.
Wait. Oh, damn!
Okay. So, obviously I've not played this next puzzle, so that is the first 4 puzzles for us, and so fire control system. This is my first time to look at it, and we'll see what we can do with it. Okay, Dave. Well, let's have a look to see what we got. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. That must be us. That's our base. Okay. Homeward ship 1. Nice. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Yep. These are parts. All right. Different parts. Looks like that's a rocket head, if I had to say, and this is like the rocket body. I don't know what that is. Anyway. Missile tubes, 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, that's pretty intense. Okay, we got a drawing here. Yeah, so that's what this is. Anti-cruiser missile type. So that's what looks like those first 3 over there are. But we don't really get a drawing for this guy. So I'm assuming that guy is just going to go over there, I guess. Dave, talk to me. What do we got going on, Dave?
The ship's weapons and defense systems aren't exactly ready to go, so you'll have to jury-rig them. But you're good at improvising, right? The Toads seem to have 2 methods of attack, missiles and fighters, so you'll have to watch out for both of those. Fortunately, we managed to install the defensive cannons. Yay! They will shoot down the nearest target when supplied with ammunition. You'll also have use of the missile tubes, which will allow you to construct and fire missiles. Missiles will automatically acquire and track targets, but have minimal maneuverability, so know what you're aiming for, okay? This isn't ideal, but, hey, I'm sure you can figure it out, or else we're all dead, I guess.
Gee, Dave. That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay. Yep. Well, okay, I would say if we had to look at this, I would say most of the attacks are, like, they've got this down in the lower left-hand corner. So, I mean, this is our base. There is the ship. I would say all their attacks are going to come up here, right? Like, in Central 2, right? So, I would say, well, we shove everything into defense cannons too, right? So, I mean, that's what I mean. Let me run this for a second. Okay, so, yeah, engine, center, missile top, and I'm assuming this must be the defense thing. Okay, all right. Well, I would say mostly everything's coming from 2, so, yeah, that's how we're doing that, people. Okay, Okay, and then do this, do. And we'll just shove you right into there. Done. I think that's just going to be the simplest way to do that. I mean, you know, I think that's how that's going to work. All right, making missiles. Awesome. Shuri says, this is fine. Now, let's see. Making missiles, he says. All right. So, if we do this, yeah, and then do something like that, we'll weld the bottom with the center. Sure, he says. This is fine. Okay, so that's the center. Boop. Because this is 2 blocks, the center is only 1. It should get here just in time. That's how I'm doing that, people. And then we're going to do the same thing here. right? Then we can pull that same trick twice. So then this is gonna be this will be like, I don't know. No, do that, and then I don't know. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Because that's the trick here, right? We just got to get it. We just got to get it here a little bit sooner than the rest of these guys. So. Okay. Yeah, that looks good. Welder 1, 2. Sure. All right. I mean, looks okay. Let's test it out. All right.
Missile cruiser has entered our space.
Yeah. Listen, don't get excited there yet, Chicky. I haven't got I got things to do here first. All right. So. Okay. So. This good. This is okay. Okay, good. We need this to go somewhere. That's a missile. Yeah. Oh boy. Sure, he says. Okay. I mean, I don't know. Well, first of all, you're gonna have to turn that missile sideways. All right. Sure, he says. Can we do that coming right out the door? And then put this here? Sure. I mean, that looks all right to me. Okay, so now, what are you going to do with that? Well, okay. Right, because there's 2 blocks there. Yeah, well, at least that's going to get us somewhere. I'm not quite sure how that's going to do for us yet, but we're going to make it work, people. We're going to make it work. Sure. So we don't have automated stuff. Oh, I get a new block. Toggle. Okay. So sure. Toggle, he says. I want to toggle this. All right. Okay. Sure, he says. You're going to toggle this, are you? Are you like really good at this or what? I don't know. Yeah. This is fine. This is going to be just fine. Okay. All right. Sure. Now, this thing's gonna come up here. Okay, yeah, keep coming up there, big guy. All right, so is that the ceiling? Yep. All right, so now we can get rid of these ones. And we'll do... Oh, thanks, autosave. I so don't appreciate that right now. Like, I'm really focused here. You know? Can't you see my focus? Okay. Sure, he says. Everything is fine, he says. Everything's gonna work, right, he says? Probably not. But sure, anyway. Okay, I have no idea. I mean, something like that. Get rid of that. Okay, and then you gotta have something down here. Get rid of that one. So, remember when we built the great big core thing, right? And we had all the blocks coming out, and then what we did was we grabbed blocks from that. I mean, that's basically what I'm going for here, right? Sure. So this is going to be like a tube, right? And then I'm assuming I can grab from the tube somehow. Sure, he says. It's perfectly fine. Okay. I'm glad you're so confident. Okay. Sure. Alright. So... And then there, and then there. Okay. And then something like that. Okay, and then going this way. Somewhere's around there. And then something like this. Okay. Sure, he says. Really? You think? Not really. I mean, I don't really have, you know, the best plan here. So, right. All right, well, let's see how we're doing so far, right? Okay, do.
A lone missile cruiser has entered our space.
Okay, and then, all right. Okay,
A lone missile cruiser has entered our space.
Has it? Well, that's interesting. Okay, so... okay. It's fine. It's gonna be fine. Okay. Yeah, so see what's going on here? Look. Missile cruiser has entered our space. It's in the upper right corner. Do. I mean, that kind of makes sense to me, right? You know, you are doing things here, right? No, you're not. Why are? Oh, because you're a goof and you've put the wrong block in there. How about putting that block in? There you go. All right. So, sure. Okay. Well, we'll try to keep going anyway, because that's the thing we do. Okay. So... sure, he says. Alright. Right. So this, if I do that correctly.
A lone missile cruiser has entered our space.
Has it? Well, that's good. All right. And then, of course, these guys are going to be able to keep shoving down here, right? Okay, let's pause that right there. All right, cool, right? This is exactly what we want. So, missiles are going to come out here, and then I'm going to want to grab them missiles. I'm going to grab them missiles and put them in tubes, right? Sometimes I'm going to want them tubes to be on the bottom, and I can put a switch to that. But sometimes I want these tubes to be on top, and if that's the case, I can put a switch to that. Yeah. Yup. Okay. It's perfectly fine, he says. Perfectly fine. So, if you want to steal some missile tubes... okay. Okay. No, not you. Let's do this. And then this one is going to be right here. Okay. Let's see. Grab you. We'll grab you. We're going to grab you. We're going to grab you. We don't need you. Not yet. We're going to grab you. Grab you. Yeah, and we'll grab you. Now you gotta do this down below. Well, let's finish building this one up above first, and then we'll know what we're doing. Sure, he says. Rotate. Okay, looks awesome, right? I can grab things. Sure, he says. You can grab things, Max. Okay, what do you about these guys? Well, you gotta wire these guys up too, right? Yes. Alright. Okay, so... who's gonna handle what? This is gonna be the upper and lower switch. This will be the upper-lower switch. This will handle the right side guns. This will handle the left side. Okay, I'm kind of cool with this plan. Sure. As long as we're not causing any interference here, I guess. I'm a little worried about that, but. Okay, okay. Is that going to be... No, because these guns are all... These missiles are all sideways, dude. You're all right. You're okay. You're going to be okay. Am I? I don't know. I don't feel okay. Let me tell you. I do not feel good. It's gonna be fine, Max. It's gonna be fine. Okay, now you're just stuck in here. Because the ceiling's not tall enough. All right. Well, listen. Why don't you put a switch on this? Right. Okay. Okay. All right. This looks really cool. Okay. So I've okay, what's that doing?
Missile cruiser has entered our space.
So, missiles coming along. Oh yeah, see, look. Look, I've caused myself interference already. That's a problem. Yeah, you can't do that, Max. You gotta go around this. We need a problem. Problem that needs a solution. You need a solution for this. Okay. So obviously the solution is don't get in the way, because that's a problem. Is it going to be a problem if no, I can't do that, I don't think. Or it will never be able to allow, or it'll never drop out. It'll never drop down, right? Okay. So everything is fine. Okay. Can I do it this way? Get you off of there for a second. Can I come this way with it? As long as we don't touch that other wire, we should be fine, right? Okay, so this is the control for the upper and lower arm. Whether I want missiles up or I want missiles down. So right now, missiles are up, right? And then I can click that. Yeah, missiles are down. Okay, so that's what's going to happen. It's going to allow missiles to go down. Okay, but then if I let it just go.
A lone missile cruiser has entered our space.
All right, sure. Okay, that's fine. So, what happens now? Well, you got the top made, but you haven't got anything for the bottom made, right? So, like, if I run this, right, and then I say I want the missiles. I want the missiles on this side to be working. Oh, the wire's not connected somewhere. Yeah, I got it. Yep, right there. So, I want missiles on top. Missiles are on top. Do I want them to fire on the right or the left? All right, so let's just start this.
A lone missile cruiser has entered our space.
Yes, it has. Oh, you haven't got that side done yet, Max. Can we do this side? Yes, we can. We can at least shoot from one side. I don't know if like we're actually gonna fire at them. Okay, well at least we're firing something at them. All right, well I like that. Let's see how the battle plays out. Oh, okay. So we have 1, 2, and 4. Okay. Let's reset for a second. So we run again. Oh, toggle that, right? So that's going to give us the missiles on tube number 2.
A missile cruiser has entered our space.
Yes, it has. All right. Okay. So, I want to see how many missiles it takes to take out this guy. There's one. Oh, he's got a little health bar. Isn't that cute? There's 2. So it takes 3 missiles. It takes 3 missiles to take a guy out. But some of our missiles don't make it. So we better say 5 missiles to be safe. Okay, cool. Sure. Not sure if you needed all this setup to make that happen. I mean, the missiles only come out of the tube so fast. Pretty sure you could done this with just like one set of these, right? All right, that's fine. Yeah, all right, that's okay. I might clean this up later. Okay, so now for the bottom set, because then we know we have cruisers coming out of 1 and 4, right? So this is number 1, yes, and then that's number 4. If they drop down, okay, and then if they drop down, all right. Missile tube 1. You still haven't you still haven't built anything for the bottom yet. I mean, I'm glad you're having a great time up here, but this isn't going to fix the top thing yet, or the bottom thing yet. Well, let's just work with the top for now and see how we do, right? And we'll hope that our decision to just fill number 2 there, see how that's going. Okay, let's see. All the things. Oh, hey, Sawyer, what's up? Sorry, my screen was half covered. I hope you're doing well. It's all good in the neighborhood. I'd let the pipe fill with 4 missiles and a sensor for the front nose cone. But I'd also raise the drop area by 1 so there's no initial delay. Yeah. Seems the shield randomly takes away a missile before impact. Well, that would make sense, right? Well, yeah, but it does. I really don't think I'm going to need any missiles in number 3. I really don't. Because number 3, I mean, just look at how the board is shaped, right? You got the board shaped like this. You've got all this area out here, and we've already seen these icons. They're really big. So there's no way they're going to squeeze a ship into this corner, and that is the station there. So I am sure that number 3 is just a wash, right? That, you know, you're not going to have to do anything with number 3. So really, it's 1, 2, and 4 that you got to deal with. And 2, I mean, obviously is going to be the more active tube of all of them, right? But I do got to deal with 1 tube down below. You know what? I really don't think number 3 is going to be the tube of things. I really don't. I think this tube is useless myself. So I am very tempted not to even bother. I'm just going to let the missiles drop down there, get loaded into tube 3. I'm not even going to try and wire it up. So I just got to make sure. That we're doing, like, I don't probably even need any of this here at all. So I would think that the only thing I need is to make sure if it's going upper and lower, and then left and right. And then, of course, this is upper and lower. So tube 4 is lower, right? That's left, that's right, that's lower, right? That's all I got to really do here, right? It's a trap. It's a trap. We got to get out of here. Listen, we're going to make this work anyway. I think it's going to be, I'm going to say tubes 1, 2, and 4, right? So we know he comes out of 2 first. So that's the default, is 2, right? Yeah, the default is 2. So I don't even have to do anything.
Missile cruiser has entered our space.
Right? The default is 2. Okay, right. We are loading missiles, right? Oh, right. You forgot to... No, you didn't. There we go. My bad. My bad. Yeah, that was my bad. I forgot to turn it on. So... Yeah, so by default, the 2 is the default. I got to run this one first. Then 1, 2, and 4, right? You got to give the bottom at least 4 missiles. So what I would do is I would... okay, we're going to do this first. Make sure it gets enough missiles. Then we're going to do this one... and this one. Actually, we'll do this one first, then this one next, right? Because then the top will get its missiles for number 1. We'll go back to 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? That's what we're gonna try anyway. Okay. So we'll turn that on now.
A lone missile cruiser has entered our space.
Okay. And we know that it needs at least 4 missiles. 3, 4. So now we're going to do this. Okay, and then we're going to turn that back off and turn this one back on. Okay, I was way too soon. We did not hit that ship as much as possible. All right. Okay, so, well, we'll turn that on.
A lone missile cruiser has entered our space.
Yes, it has. Stupid missile cruiser. Okay, so there go the missiles. Yeah, see, it's oh yeah, like the next ships don't even show up. I didn't realize that. All right, so where we got going on here? So we have one on the bottom. Okay, so I got to deal with that one on the bottom first, and then 2 comes back, and then 1 comes next. All right. Gee whiz, it's kind of intense. It's kind of intense. Nightbot says it best. We just need to do a little A to B with some C, and we're going to be a D at some point in time. Raise the fan platform so we can get the shot out a little faster. Okay. Sure, just give me a second. Oh, don't delete it, you goof. Do this. Something like that. All right. Okay, so we're gonna go to 2. We're gonna let it fire 5 tubes, but then I'm gonna go straight to the bottom and then back to 2. Yeah, we go straight to the bottom and then we go back to 2 and then to 1. All right, here we go. Okay.
A lone missile cruiser has entered our space.
Yes, it has. Okay, so as soon as we see that dot die. All right, what do we got here? All right, that's a hit. All right, so we should be able to turn that off now and go here. Okay, looks good for us. All right, where's the timer at? 24. Wow, that timer's going really fast. So. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then hopefully it's going to start spitting missiles out here. Yeah, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then do that. Okay, don't know how well. Oh, that's our health bar there. We're looking really bad. I think I should have went to 3 first. Yeah, I should have went to 3 first.
Different. I believe they are carriers.
Okay, so
Definitely carriers.
first one is there, but then instead of me going 2, 4, 3. See, 2 has I gotta go 4, 3, 4, 1, 2 is what I gotta do. All right, because 2 has all my defense cannons. We're shoving defense cannons all at number 2, right? So we know the ship's going to take a few hits, but we got to make sure that it goes to 4 and then 1. So 2 can hold off. We'll hold 2 off. So that's where we'll go, I guess. So we're gonna go. This is 2, and then we're gonna go. We'll go 4, which is down below. Right? Yeah, we'll go 2, 4, 1, 2. All right, there we go. All right, that's what we're doing. All right, so 2, 4, 1, 2.
Cruiser has entered our space.
Yeah, so our defense turrets, right? Our defense guns are taking care of them incoming turrets, right? So how many missiles are we firing there? 3, 4, 5? So I don't got to worry about anything in Sector 2. Okay. Yeah, looks good. Okay, so now we're going to fire into Sector 1. We know Sector 2's protected. Maybe I should have chosen 4 first. Maybe 4 shows up before 1? We'll find out here shortly. Yeah, 4 shows up first. So I think what I'll do is I'll do 2, 4, 1, 2, right? So 2, and you're 4, right? Yeah. Yeah, I got to do a 2, 4, 1, 2. So that's 2. Then that's 4. That's 1, and then that's 2. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. It's all fine. Okay. Okay, he's dead. Okay, and then now 2 should be loaded into that one. No, wrong one. That's unfortunate. Okay, how many? We got enough missiles going there, so let's turn that off. Go here, and we'll hope that missiles are getting out there. So, darn it. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. So it's 2. I thought I had the right one here. No, that's yeah, right. That is for 4, right? 4's on the bottom. I guess I got to switch to 4 faster. Is what I got to do. I got to switch to 4 faster and then to 1 faster. All right, 2, 4, 1. I really wish I could kind of remember which way. I couldn't do it like this. This is 2 blocks. This is 4 blocks. Yeah, do this. This is 2 blocks. That's 4 blocks. That's 1 block. Right? Yeah, you're block 1. All right, there we go. So I want 2 first, then 4, then 1, then back to 2. 2, 4, 1, and then back to 2, right? All right, so there's 2.
A lone missile cruiser has entered our space.
So now this is 4. Okay, there's the ship. Right, one more. Okay, so oh, come on, get it. Yeah, so I should have switched to 1 a little bit sooner. If I'd switched to 1 a little bit sooner, that wouldn't have been an issue. All right, that's fine. So 2, 4, 1, 2. Yep, let's go.
A lone missile cruiser has entered our space.
Okay, this is fine. That'll be enough missiles for him anyway. I gotta have enough confidence to know that as soon as I see 5 missiles out here, as soon as I see that ship and 5 missiles out here, I've got to switch it to 1. I just got to have enough confidence that the missiles are going to find them. Okay, so 4, 5, and switch. So see, we're already firing 2 missiles off before he gets his off. There's 3 missiles. Okay, so we still have 2. Oh, darn it. Okay, luckily our defense turrets are handling this. All right, so both of these are in 4.
I believe they are carriers. Yes, definitely carriers.
Yep, definitely carriers. Okay, but luckily these are both in 4. Oh, that was a surprise. So, now I gotta write this down. It's gotten too complicated. It's gotten too complicated. I gotta write down the order. Holy smokes! I didn't realize I had to do math today. Really? Where's a pen? All right. So, so that was all 4, right? That was all 4. Fine. All right. So it's 2, 4, 2, 2, 4, 1, 4, and now this is what do you call this? 2. But I actually got to take care of 1 first. So let's go 1 and then 2. Holy smokes! All right, reset this. All right. Okay, so. This is fine. This is fine. Now I'm sitting right up in the chair, right? Because it's intense. It's really intense. Nope. We're gonna try and do it this way first. All right. 2, 2, 4, 1, 4, 1, 2. All right. Let's go.
A lone missile cruiser has entered our space.
3, 4, 5. Okay. That's supposed to be 2, 4, 1, 2. Oops. So 2, and then it's 4, 1, 2. There's 4. Yeah, I really gotta switch over sooner. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I know what I am gonna try and do this. Do.
Definitely carriers.
Yeah. So this is going to be do this, no, I got to do it this way. Okay, and then do this. And then we'll do this. Okay, and then we're going to put a counter on this. Yep. The counter will be 2. And then we'll do this, because you can't touch that wire. Really? Give me a break. There we go. Let's just double check that that's going to work for us.
A lone missile cruiser has entered our space.
Okay, so that is going to work. That might just save me a little time on this whole thing. So it's 2, 4, 1, 2, and then 2, 4, and then it's 4. I dropped my pen. Okay, found another pen on the floor that will work just as well. So there's 4, and then it's 4, 1, 2. Then it's 4, and then I think it's 1, 2. All right, we're gonna see what happens though. But at least I don't know if it's gonna be enough. If I divide this in half, if we're gonna be okay or not. But it might give me a shot at those missiles that are coming from that cruiser. But we'll see what happens. All right, so it's gonna be 2.
A lone missile cruiser has entered our space.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then it's gonna be 4. Yeah, so see, some of the missiles get through because we're not loading them fast enough. You kind of gotta pick your battles there, right?
More missile cruisers inbound.
4 to go to 1. And then this all goes to 4 after this.
These ships are different. I believe they are carriers. Yes, definitely carriers.
So then, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, so I'm going to stop right there because the next ones come out at 2 and 1. So I'm going to go to 2 for the next one.
Everything they have left. They must be desperate.
You think? Okay, so where are we at the moment? We've got 3 missiles in the air. He's dead. So switch that to 1. Uh-oh. That's, who are these guys? And then we're back to 2? Okay. Okay, this is bad. Okay, but if we're back to 2, I'm gonna break this circuit. Oh, I can't break this circuit in a live, it's in live scenario, you goof. You can't break the circuit. Sure I can do anything. Oh, these guys are firing missiles. Yeah, see, that's the issue. All right, so I was hoping to be able to do that, but them guys ending up in the end. In the end, if I could just switch this all over to 2, that would be great. Yep. All right, you need something really cool here, Max. Do you remember how to? You gotta build an inserter wire, a wire that inserts itself. It's gonna be really awesome. You're gonna love it. Am I? Yes, because you've done it before and you can do it again. All right. Well, if you say so. All right. So now what I need is we're gonna do that. Are you gonna run out of room? Probably. Okay. Okay. Take that wire out. Okay. So we're gonna. this counter doesn't work. This counter is not going to work until I hit the switch. So, by default, it's going to go into 2, okay, which we know is where most of the attacks come from. But then, I can switch it over to 1 temporary. I can switch it to both temporarily right afterwards, right? So, like for the next attack, the 4-1-2 attack, there's so much to remember here. So much to remember. Okay. I mean, this is fine, he says. This is going to be fine. And we won't put anything in front of him because he's going to be my defense cannon switch over. All right. So this has got 2. We're not going to turn this one on. We'll turn this one on for the second attack. And then we turn it off. And then we turn it back on for the second attack. The 4th attack. And then we turn it back on. Holy smokes. All right, here we go. All right, this is fine. You, go. Holy
Lone
smokes.
missile cruiser has entered our space.
Yeah, lone missile cruiser has entered the space. Okay, and turn that off. And we're going to go to 4. And we are going to turn this on. So now, this will allow these to start being separated. Is that not working? Where's your wire? Oh, darn it. Nope, my bad. You have to... it has to be attached to something. My bad. Yeah, there we go. It'll work fine now. Okay. Oh, darn it. No, don't start the simulation while you're stuck up here. Okay, here we go. So, start simulation, start 2.
A lone missile cruiser has entered our space.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we're going to stop that, go to 4, and we're going to turn, we'll wait till he's dead, and then as soon as he dies, we'll switch the switch. Okay, so he should be, how many, he's got 2 missiles inbound. All right, so we'll switch that on. Now, this should now allow this, to now split that. Okay, so it's going to be 4.
More missile cruisers.
1, 2, 3, 4. So we know we're splitting defenses here. All right, so there come our missiles there. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, whoop, stop. And then we're going to turn this off. No, we better leave that on just a little bit longer until the ship is dead. Now I need to go back to 2. Okay, now you can turn that off. Stop. Way too many missiles. You got to go to 4. Okay, and we leave that going to 2 because that's where all the fighters are going to go. Did I hit the wrong button? Oh, you did hit the wrong button. I'm in trouble. Well, you might not be in trouble. Let's see how... Yeah, but you didn't kill them fast enough. So the problem here is that the next round of ships is in... Okay, so stop right there. So the next round of ships is in Sector 1. Okay, so it's in Sector 1. All right, you're loading missile tubes up now. Let's go a little bit longer. I want to see one more missile coming out of there. Okay, yep, there we go. So now it's got to go to Sector 1. And then Sector 2. And then Sector 2 again. Okay, so then this is where I now switch this off. I switch Sector 2 on. And okay, we'll do it for a few seconds. Okay, yep, and you're done. Turn that off, and now all defenses are going to shoot towards this, and all missiles are going to shoot towards that. Let's hope that works. Yep. Well, it's intense. It's intense, people. It's intense. Yeah, where's my defenses? Where's my defenses? You guys are supposed to be loading stuff up into number 2 only. Yeah, like all defenses should be here. I think I got it switched in time, though. Oh, no! No, come on. We were so close. I mean, you can only... I mean, I'm throwing everything at it. Really? I mean, it was so close. Okay. Well, I mean, all I can do is try again now. 2, 1, 2, and then 2 goes for everything. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, we'll do it as we'll just try again. And there's 2.
A lone missile cruiser has entered our space.
Okay. And then it's going to be 4. Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I now need to go to 1. And we need to do this. Okay, now this has to go back to 4. And 4, we leave that off for 4.
These ships are different. I believe they are carriers? Yes, definitely carriers.
Yep, definitely carriers. Alright, so stop there. Now, this has to go back to 1. And we will turn on self-defenses, but not until 1 shows up. Why aren't missiles coming out of 1? Where's all my missiles? Where's my missiles? Oh, darn it. When you know, I turned it off at just the wrong time, and then it get all jammed up. Really, guys? Really? Yeah, the one... Gee whiz. Don't you all be funny down here, alright? Can't believe that. Anyway, whatever. I wonder how he got shoveled over there. Turn that on. I wonder how that happened. Like, I don't know how that would have happened. Because how did that missile get over there without... Anyway, it must have been just a thing. So then you got to go to 412. 412. See, I gotta be watching the screen what I'm doing here, right?
More missile cruisers inbound.
Now, see, we've lost 50% of the ship. I don't think it's enough. Anyway, and I didn't switch the guns over in time anyway. Okay, so, we'll try again. This is freaking hard. Alright. I was gonna say, you guys gonna start firing missiles at him or what? Okay, 3, 4. See, this first one doesn't really matter because we got plenty of time before the next one shows up. Like, we're already ahead like 80 seconds. But it's the next ones, like, you got to get the next ones just right.
More missile cruisers inbound.
Okay, so I got to have enough faith that there's enough missiles inbound to take care of that. And okay, should have switched that sooner. I got sloppy. Nah, see, we're taking too many hits. Yeah, we're down 50% again. Too sloppy, too sloppy.
A lone missile cruiser has entered our space.
Well, we don't get any shield options, right? We don't get any shield options, right? So what shields we get, we start with, and that's about it. Okay, so
More missile cruisers inbound.
1, 2, 3, 4. Taking a risk here. Yeah, see, we're down 50%. No matter which way I do that switch, we still lose 50%. Okay, so then this is all 4.
I believe they are carriers. Yes, definitely carriers.
Yeah. Now, we gotta stop here because the next one is 1 and 2. So we're gonna turn that off. We've already got the missiles in play for that. So we want to have 1 and 2 ready to go. And then we got to turn that on for the fighters. Notice how the shields on 1 and 4 are darks. No, this is a shield bar for everything. This is the shield bar for all of it, right? 1 and 4 are dark. There's no dark there. Like that is our entire shield for all 4 sides, right? So that doesn't matter. Yeah, it's not like each sector has its own bar. You get 1 bar for the entire ship. It's just like they get 1 bar for their entire ship. So where was I? I've got this on. I've got 1 on, so we must be on the 3rd round. Okay, there's 3. There's 4. There's 4. Come on, where's this ship at?
They're attacking with everything they have left. They must be desperate.
Okay, so there's enough missiles out there for him. I gotta turn it to him. We'll leave it on 1 and 2 for now until the other 3 ships show up in Sector 2. All right, so all the missiles and the defense guns are pointed at Sector 2. So if we're going to survive this is the only way it gets there, right? See, they just overwhelm you with missiles. Yeah, we did it!
No more enemy cruisers. I think we are victorious.
We are victorious!
I'll be damned. You did it. I am super proud of you that we are not space pancakes.
Space pancakes!
Anyway, yeah, no, why don't we just get the hell out of here before something else goes wrong?
That was intense. That was very intense. Yeah, that was very intense. So, with that, look at that, and that's my 2 hours right there. Let's just go into that for a second, because I just want to go into it for a second. I mean, this was a very intense build, right? I over-engineered this big time, right? I don't know what I was thinking here, but I was thinking that, like, you know, for some reason I was going to have to load 4 missiles and then load them all in at once or something. Anyway, yeah, but, like, just the first parts would, like, the first 2 would have done just fine. So, yeah, I over-engineered that. Tube 1 never gets used, or Tube 3? Tube 3 is never used, and I didn't think it would be. It's just the design is not right. So Tube 3, this, you can just leave this out. Don't need it, okay? Yeah, the problem here is you just don't get enough. You just don't get enough of this stuff out, right? Like, there's obviously not enough to feed all 4 guns. That will just never happen. So my little trick of just doing, like, that one time of doing, like, Defense Cannon 1 for a short period of time, I think was good. And then we just kind of kept up with it after that. So that actually worked out okay. But yeah, over-engineered this. I don't know if I over-engineered this or not. I don't know if I would ever be fast enough to not use Defense Cannon 1 and just stick with 2 the entire time. Because almost all the attacks are in 2, right? But I mean, this worked fine. It did exactly what I wanted it to do, which was if I needed Defense Cannon 1, it would inject it, and away we went. And life was good. Yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. Let's see what the mission briefing is for the next one. All right, Dave, talk to me.
Well, here we are, the final piece, the skip drive. These are the first plans for a skip drive that anyone has seen in a long time. The Toads stole all of their drives from other aliens and used them in their own ships. I saw their research. They didn't understand how they work at all. I don't know if it's even possible to build what's in these plans, but let's do this.
Let's do this, Dave. Let's do this. Dave's all excited. Okay, so we'll go into the solution. I want to look at it. Oh my goodness, I'm not building that. What is that? That's worse than the core thing. Let me have a look at this thing. Oh my goodness, this is a nightmare. Look at this. Oh my, what the? There is no... this will be, yeah. So the next episode of this will be in like 3 weeks. Don't expect it anytime soon. Why is that? Like, it's... Oh, really? Yes, because it's not hard enough, we put multiple things on a single line now. That's awesome. That's just great. Then there's the T-square. Okay. What do we got going on over here? Probably something dumb. Yep. Some plus signs. Well, I would say all the plus sign. Oh. Okay, so we have plus signs laying down, plus signs standing up. All right. Yeah. Ups, downs, and sideways. So there's the ups, there's the downs, And of course they put the Sideways in the same container as this thing, because of course they did. Whatever. That's it, people. That's it. That's enough of my frustrations for today. I'm Max. This has been Infinifactory. It is the final countdown. It's the final puzzle, which will probably take me some weeks to build, because I somehow I think I've already pulled most of my hair out on that stupid core, and this looks like it's going to be a nightmare. But it is what it is. We'll make it happen. Of course, big thanks to recent subscribers. Sawyer, it was good to see you, of course, in chat. As always, I appreciate it. And, of course, to all those watching home, I hope it's all doing good in your neighborhoods. You bet. I played this today instead of tomorrow because the weather here was kind of crappy. The weather's going to be really in and out this week, so I've got to do things outside when I can, and when it's not good, I'll play. So the schedule could be a little loosey-goosey this week. That being said, Foundry does come out this week, and I have everything ready for it. So as soon as Foundry drops on Wednesday or whatever it is, which I think is, whenever it is, Wednesday or Thursday, I think it's May the 2nd it drops. Anyway, whenever it drops, we're going to play it. That's what's going to happen. We're going to be playing that. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out and doing all the things. And, with that, I'm going to see you on the next one. Take care.